Hello, graphic design students. We are preparing to make our final project, which is a concert poster. And the most important thing about designing a product for a future client, let's say that you were hired by Harry Styles to create concert posters for his next concert. Well, you want to get it right. You don't want to look like an idiot. And so you want to make sure, you can't blame it on Fit Torn because people are going to think, oh, that's an excuse. You should know better. Don't blame it on your graphic design teacher, but I do have a responsibility to teach you the right way to do it. And if you follow it because you care enough to do it the right way, then you'll get a great grade. If you don't follow this, you will get points off. So the different thing about Gravit than Illustrator is Illustrator doesn't have this pop-up window. You have to essentially go File, New. In this case, this is a nice cheater way in which you can create your own canvas. You can leave it empty for infinite. We don't want a template. We don't want to, this is where you would open from cloud. See, you can open and manage your files, or you can save it to your computer so we can go back and rework on it. Yay! Yay! And then we can also go open recent. Like if you just worked on something 15 minutes ago and want to reopen it, if you go open recent, it will take you to that file. But in this case, we know we are creating a poster, which is a print product. A poster is not web. A poster is not social media, not a device, and not a t-shirt. It's a thing we print. So when you choose paper size, you'll notice that I've talked to you before about these sizes being European sizes. Right here, I do not see anywhere in any way, shape, or form where it has anything beyond a postcard. So we actually have to create our own document size. And there is no changing this because in print world, there are just specific sizes of paper. You cannot make up a width or height. And there's the general size for a small poster is 11 by 17. So you need your width to be 11 and your height to be 17. And you want to make sure, listen, this is so important. At least two of you are not going to do this right, and it's going to freak you out because then working on your project, yeah, it's just an issue. Please make sure you reset this to inches. In the United States, we don't use millimeters, and we're not educated enough in graphic design to measure by points right now. So we're going to stay with inches. And Fitch one's not good at converting anyways. So even though I am educated in design, I am not a good mather. Okay, create. Okay, so I think the biggest thing that he was talking about in Illustrator and InDesign is when you go File, New, that's where you set up your bleed and your margin. All right, here in Gravit, it's after you create your document. So right now, if you guys are creating this side by side with me, I want you to go ahead and create a bleed. And that was 0.125. All right, what's going on? Ooh, this is slow for me. All right, and that is how far the image or the color of the background has to extend beyond your canvas for the printer not to cut off anything. And then the margin size, whatever you dictate one, because of this paper clip, it means that all of them will change, okay? So if you want to ever learn more, just click the learn more. But right now, remember he said the safest margin is 0.125. And it should, yep, once you click one, look at that. They all did that. And if you look and see the safety zone, that doesn't print. It's just for you to know if you even think about putting your text outside of that, Fitch one's going to mark you down big time, big time. All right, we can't change the color mode. If we were actually a real graphic designer, your color mode would be CMYK, which means cyan, magenta, yellow, black, but we can't. But our DPI, we definitely want high. It will let us, you guys have to set, that's dots per inch. It means how compressed the image is. In photographs, if you ever see a photograph that's pixelated, that means it's a very low PPI, pixels per inch. So DPI is the color dots in the printing process. And then we want to turn on the grid. If you do not have the grid, some of you, this might bother at first, but you'll get used to it. We always design like the Swiss typographers with the grid. And the reason why we do that is there's a magical principle of design that starts with an A that we always define where we place our text and images. We don't just slap them where we want to unless we're a postmodernist. But does anyone remember who's watching me during this tutorial know what the A is that we follow, like a huge principle that is like the backbone of good graphic design? What would the A stand for?
Alignment?
Yes, good job, you guys. Alignment. With the grid, you're able to use the grid to align things correctly. It keeps you nice and organized, and also so you know things aren't tilty. Okay, so once you get that, I want you to also see something, which I don't even know if they have rulers in Gravit. Let's explore this together. If we go up to view, because that's where you usually view things, like different panels. Ooh, look, okay, so it has, there's the original view, there's fitting everything. Remember I told you to fit everything in. When you zoom in and zoom out, if you go Command or Control minus, you zoom out. If you go Command or Control plus, you zoom in. But let's say you zoomed out or you're in a specific area. Here, this is telling you if you want to view it back original, this Command 0, or if you're on a PC or a Chromebook, Control. Either way, it brings it like to the original view. I like it so it fits just a little. Yeah, I usually like to start off here and then I move in and out. Here you can do magnification, but I just, again, I like to right here, look at this, zooming in. Why would you go down in this drop menu and do all this when you have a shortcut? Command plus, Command minus, Control plus, Control minus. Why? Why would you have to go through all the hassle of finding that little drop down when you just have to memorize a shortcut? An outline view and a fast view will show you kind of different things. And then I'm going to go to Canvas, show rulers. So in photo or in Illustrator, it would just say show rulers under view. You wouldn't have to go to a canvas, but this is after all our canvas, so it makes sense. I need you guys to turn on your rulers, and I'm going to show you why. Let's say if alignment is the backbone of good graphic design, these rulers, this is telling me, look at right here, there's a 0 point. That's telling me that's 11 inches wide. And then at the 0 point over here, this is showing me that it's 17 inches down. In that case, if you wanted to make sure that something was proportionate, you would know how many inches to go in to find the middle. Oh, I love this feature about Gravit, that it makes you save constantly, because Illustrator doesn't do that, and I've had students lose stuff because they're not constantly saving. So it's telling you to make sure to save regularly if we're not synced, to avoid losing progress. Okay, so do you want to sync now? Yeah, why not? So if that message comes up, look, it shows me everything I've worked on in the past 2 weeks in this computer. So you can name your file now. Look at this right here at the bottom. Last name, first initial, underscore, concert, poster, and you're going to hit save. And then we can go back to open it. And that is how we save our working files. It's different in Illustrator, but we'll worry about that later. Gravit is very easy to use. So if you get this, you don't sweat Adobe, you'll integrate very smoothly. It looks totally different, but a lot of the functions are the same. All right, so going back to the rulers. So what's great about the rulers, like if I tell you to put something halfway in the middle, well, we know if 11 inches wide, half of 11 is 5.5, well, then I know right here is going to be the exact center of my document. And if I want things in a certain area, check this out. You guys can make guides. Are you ready for that? If you left click in the ruler, look at that. I left clicked up in the top ruler and you pull down. Let's say I want alignment of certain elements across this line and let go. Boom. This guide won't print. It's there for you to make sure things are in balance. Likewise, and you can put as many as you want. So again, I'm left clicking in the ruler, drag, 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 drop, and I'm using the mouse. So likewise, from the left, if you left click into that ruler and drag, 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 let go of the mouse, drop, drag, 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 let go of the mouse, drop. You now have ways to align things so that if I create text here and down here, you can ask Oh, I don't have anybody in here who's had me for other things before. I will pull rulers out on your files if I have to. If you are sitting in class and I ask you, did you check to make sure everything's aligned? And you go, yeah, and I can see down to the millimeter if something's off. It's a freaky, freaky gift from UC Davis from being in a meticulous design department. It's horrific though, because I'm super analytical. Anyways, so yeah, I want to make sure I'm going to undo. Remember, Command Z or Control Z. Depending on what computer you're on, undoes stuff. But I will want to see that bleed, and I will want to see the grid. Now, if the grid bothers you while you're working, if you just want to use it for alignment and the guides, you can turn the grid off and then turn it back on to check your work. All right, so please do know, and you can change the grid. That's really small for a giant poster. You could probably change those if you want to, and play around with the cube size. Anyways, so there we've got that document, and that is it. You've named your document. You know how to save it over here, continually save. You know how to go into view and how to look at your canvas and show your rulers. You know how to click in the ruler to create guides. You know how to create bleeds and margins and what they stand for. You set your document size. And that is it for this tutorial. The next tutorial I'm going to show you is how to use the shape tool and how to build shapes and take away shapes and how to place images. So there'll be a couple more tutorials to come so that by Friday you're ready to rock and roll. If you're ready to start your poster, you're more than welcome to start playing around with the text tool, which is up here. And here's how you change appearances and things, because you can always undo. That's the greatest thing, is that you can Command Z or you can delete something. If you make something that you don't want in our future tutorials, you will find out. Like, let's say I make a rectangle and I come back. Whoa, where'd my rectangle go? If I make a rectangle and I don't want it, well, guess what? I can delete it. I can delete it, or I can undo. Command Z, right? All right, so we're going to save this one more time, and then that's it for this tutorial. Thanks, guys. See you next time.